The manager had said after the big result in Real Madrid in midweek that it was important for you to show consistency and to start winning games in the Premier League. Did you show that today?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a great game overall of us. Created a lot of chances, and then at the end, scored 4 as well. So yeah, well done to everyone.
Obviously, had you lost here today, it would have handed the title to Liverpool if they win later on. How important was it for you all that you just keep pushing them?
Yeah, it's important for ourselves, I would say. We don't need to look at them. As you said, we wanted to win, to come here and win in the Premier League as well, and that's what we did. So yeah, we just need to keep going like this and take game by game.
Clearly, you've also got your eyes on a big prize in Europe in terms of the Champions League. How important is winning mentality and momentum now for Arsenal?
Yeah, very, I would say. We want to win every game, but you know how tough it is as well in the league. And yeah, it's a good win today, and we just need to keep pushing and going forward. There's another game on Wednesday, so they keep on coming.
And for you, the first time 2 goals in a Premier League game this season. Just talk us through those 2.
Yeah, the first one was a scrappy one. Get my foot to it and it goes in. And the second one was after another short corner where we did it very well. We played out so quick and then, yeah, got the ball to me, turned and put it in the back of the net. You say a scrappy one for the first goal. Is Martin Odegaard claiming that as a proper assist? Yeah, so the first thing he said, thank you for the assist. So, no, yeah, it's nice to be on the score sheet again and, yeah, helping the team to get a win. As I said, there's a big prize awaiting potentially at the end of the season. We saw the celebrations again there and the togetherness. How much belief is there in this squad? A lot, and that's what you need. Obviously, we're there for a reason. We've been doing very well in the Champions League, and obviously we won also every game from now on in the Premier League, and yeah, we have to keep believing. Just finally, the manager also said today that he'd made it clear to you all that these 2 games were as equally important to him in the Premier League as the Champions League. Just how clear did he make that to you all? I think very. You could see it on the pitch. We won 4-0 today, so everyone will be happy, the manager, I think, as well. And yeah, we can look forward to the next game now. Leo, well done. You are the player of the match. Please take the trophy. Thank you.
If they want the opportunity to win the Premier League trophy. Let's take a look at how the goals went in. Leandro Trossard got the ball rolling for Arsenal in this game, and they cruised all the way through it, Jamie.
Yeah, they did. It was far too easy for them. And this has been the name of the game right throughout the season for all 3 promoted teams. They found it really tough, but O'Shea at centre-back. I mean, Trossard initially drops off him. It's clever play by him. But you've got to be more aggressive and go towards the ball. And I sometimes think because the promoted teams are so far off, we're quite kind to them. We're not too critical of them, but, you know, the Premier League players, you know, they're playing at a certain level. They've got to do a lot more.
And the second one was a similar thing, Jamie, I think, in terms of on that transition, Leif Davis tries to get a foot in, goes a little bit too early, and then it's just the quality of Arsenal. Look at that for a touch from Moreno, for Martinelli. It's just brilliant, brilliant stuff. I said they would perform really well today, and they did exactly that, with confidence, with a bit of energy and a little bit of arrogance as well.
A little bit of frustration creeping in for Leif Davis at the beginning of the move for that goal, and then he got the red card.
Yeah, he'd obviously had a warning earlier, but he's getting frustrated. But this is unacceptable. This is obviously a dangerous tackle. Saka's going nowhere. He knows what he's doing. He seems surprised to get the red, but we've looked at it, and I think it's the right decision. Crazy tackle.
Yeah, apologetically leaving the pitch at the end of that. He knows he will have cost his side. We're already 2-0 down, and it got worse for them and better for Arsenal, Micah.
Yeah, again, set pieces, making the most of the man advantage. But just look at the pass from Declan Rice. See it on this angle here, just reverse pass. Trossard, nice and cool, and just slots it home. Arsenal in full flow.
And then young Ethan Nwaneri with the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a really good job for them, hasn't he, when they've been missing Saka for a long time, the second half of the season. So he's had a little taste of it, so he'll be desperate to sort of finish the season well. You keep coming off the bench, getting minutes. And, yeah, he looks like a little superstar of the future, and another goal for him.
Yeah, players playing as well for places in that game against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League, that 2-legged semi-final to come in a couple of weeks' time. In the meantime, they've been focusing on the Premier League, and that means that Liverpool will have to wait.
Was that the perfect follow-up to the victory in Madrid in midweek?
Yeah, really happy with the performance, especially the way we started the game, 11 against 11. First 35 minutes, I think we were exceptional. Scored 2, could have scored 3 or 4. And after obviously the game changed, we descended off and we controlled the game well. We lacked a little bit of threat, but at the end we scored another 2 good goals. So overall, we rotated players, we rest some players. So good afternoon.
Did the advantage that you build up allow you to get the rest that you really needed into some of these players? Because you'd said during the week some of them aren't able to do 90 minutes at this moment in time.
Yeah, and some of them weren't able to start the game, which is good, to have Ben, for example, hasn't played 90 minutes for a long time. Alex Zinchenko the same. So we had some players that we rotated and played. They performed really well. So as I said, a lot of positives to take from the game.
One of the big worries for you in the position that you find yourself at the moment is injuries. What was going through your mind when Bukayo Saka goes down, Leif Davis gets the red card, and then we see Bukayo with the ice? How concerning is it?
Yeah, I didn't see the tackle. It was quite fast, so I didn't see it was very far from the bench. But after watching it, I think it's a good decision for the referee, and thankfully, he's in a bit of pain, but it doesn't look anything too serious.
Some of the quality of the goal today must have pleased you, particularly perhaps Martinelli's goal to give you the second.
Yeah. Some of the play, the way we connected with each other, the ball speed, positioning, understanding and timing of it was exceptional.
It means that you've made Liverpool wait, but perhaps more importantly, is it the fact that you've cemented second place with others that have been breathing down your neck?
Well, I don't know. It's still a lot of points to play, so we're going to have to still do quite a lot to achieve that. Yeah, we managed to delay for another week the championship for Liverpool, and that's what we have to try to do.
You spoke about Declan Rice being in a different dimension at this moment in time. We saw him play in the role that we'd obviously likely see Partey playing or Jorginho playing today. Is that a glimpse, perhaps, of what we might see against Paris Saint-Germain, and does it also show his ability to be flexible in your side?
Yeah, he can play in either of the 3 positions in midfield. Today we have to play them. George is out still, and Thomas couldn't not start the game. So that was really the reason. I'm not thinking about anything else than that, but I thought he was exceptional there.
Obviously, all eyes for many Arsenal fans will be on the Champions League semi-final. But for you, again, is the mantra the next game on Wednesday night and continuing the form that you've shown here today?
Yeah, for sure. Maintain the standards. Wednesday we're going to have another top games against Palace at home, and the best preparation and the best way to be on top form with good confidence and the team flowing is to continue to perform and win the game.
Just fine. Has this been the perfect day?
It's been a really good week, I would say.
Well done. Obviously disappointing afternoon for you. What's your take?
No, it was a tough afternoon. It was 2 different games really. I think the first half an hour was really difficult. Arsenal played really well, I thought, and we were at full stretch to try and compete with them, and we had a few moments, but their quality and their execution was better than ours. And then after the red card and getting to half time, I thought the group done really well in the second half, to be honest. The game is almost done, so you need to show the right values, the right organisation defensively. We've done that. Disappointed to concede off of 2 short corners, really, because we limited them pretty well in open play. We had a couple of moments the other end, and you need to score. You're only going to get 1 or 2 chances probably, and you probably need one of them to find the corner. But it didn't, and it's disappointing that they got the goals for the set plays. So, yeah, look, the opponent was too strong for us today when it was 11v11, and of course, with 10 minutes, almost impossible, but the group showed some good things in the second half. Just
picking up on what you're saying about those moments when they come your way, was that typified, having had to suffer for the first 10 minutes, that you get a chance at one end on 14, it breaks, and Arsenal go and score? Does that underline perhaps the difference? Yeah, one of the best teams in the world with top individuals, and also a team when you're looking at Odegaard and Saka and White on that side, who've played together for a lot of years as well at the very top of the league, and we're in a different category than that in every criteria I've just mentioned. So it's really tough, and they executed better than us, and they showed their quality. 2-0 down, you found yourself a man down. We saw Leaf leave the field. He was apologising to the fans and everybody. What's your take on the moment? Yeah, it was hard to see. It was on the far touchline, to be honest. At the time, I didn't think it was a malicious one and in fact, I don't think it was a malicious one because Noah Leaf, I don't think he has that in him, and I've worked with him for 3 seasons now.
But I've seen it on the video and it doesn't look good. And yeah, he's caught him high again. I don't think there's been any ill intent in terms of trying to injure an opponent, but it's a high challenge. So yeah, the referees give it, and we have to get on with it.
Nothing has been decided today. We know that, but your fate looks a difficult one. Throwing it forward, Kieran, how is this club set up from the experience of this year? Should the worst happen and you drop back to the Championship?
Yeah, look, we know that's been likely the case for a few weeks now. And I think the club's in a really positive position. I know it's been a challenging season, but it was always going to be that. The rate of jump from where we were in League One to the Premier League has been so quick. And, we've worked really, really hard to make that leap this season. But it looks like we're going to fall short in that endeavour. But, a lot of the things that are going on at the stadium, training ground, squad, everything are really, really positive. And the club's going to be in a much stronger position at the start of next season than it was at the start of 3 seasons ago or 2 seasons ago, that's for sure. So yeah, I think there's a real chance to keep progressing the club. It looks like there's going to be a setback at the end of the season in terms of not being in this division, but I think some of the work that's going on and some of the values that are displayed in the club day in, day out, and the ambition and the improvements that are going on, I think the club's going to be in a really good spot.
Just to let you know, that Celtic penalty was overturned, actually, after a VAR check, so it remains 4-0. But just on Arsenal, Jay, let me start with you. Mikel Arteta said he wanted to prolong this title race as long as possible. I think privately he will say it is over, but he wants Liverpool to have to do their job and Arsenal to do theirs, and they did it really well this afternoon, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, they're a much better side than Ipswich. Like we spoke about at the beginning of the show, no disrespect to Ipswich, but they've got League One players still. And you're not beating an Arsenal team, even though, we're rotating it. You might have injuries, but Arsenal are Arsenal. They work really hard. They went out there with the right attitude, straight from the first whistle. And went and put the game to bed early. Trossard scoring a couple of goals, that's really important. He played really well. Martinelli on the left, Trossard down the middle, Saka on the right. That's probably what they're going to play in the European competition, in the Champions League, with Moreno dropping in as part of the 3, Declan Rice as the defensive midfield. But it was a good overall performance, very professional, clean sheet and scored goals. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, just picking up on what Jay said there, Jamie, he kind of used that as almost a dress rehearsal for the PSG semi-final without Thomas Partey.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. I wanted to see how they lined up today, because obviously Partey picked up the yellow card. I thought, what are the options? Because, Jorginho's injured, Havertz is injured, Partey's booked. Was they going to play Zinchenko in there?
Skelly.
Skelly. There was talk of Lewis Skelly playing in midfield, but look, they had one problem and they've dealt with it. It looks like it will be Declan Rice, Moreno, Odegaard, and they'll play Trossard. Trossard played down the middle today. Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right. That, for me, was a dress rehearsal of the starting lineup for the PSG game. Zinchenko played today. He's rotated a few. He's given Lewis Skelly a rest. But, I think that midfield and that front 3 is probably how they'll start in that Champions League semi-final. So it was interesting to see how they've done today. And they played really well. They're too good for Ipswich. Ipswich are not good enough. But Arsenal turned up and done the business. Fair play to them.
As well, with Trossard, one thing I like about Trossard, he plays in them wide areas, that's his natural position, but when he's played down the middle, he's a good finisher.
Yeah.
And he sniffs out them, kind of scrappy chances. He seems to sniff them out and he does well. And that's what we're going to need in the Champions League. We're going to need a performance where you work really hard, you might have to run after lost causes, but then you've got the speed to get in the box, get them little scrappy goals. And he's done it really well when he's played in that position for Arsenal.